Anita Bowie and Thomas Esprit from Kaz Creole Productions and the Alwyn Bully Foundation this Wednesday, February 5th from 11 a.m. on your nation station, DBS Radio. Areas for discussion will include the ongoing pre-carnival workshop, Dominica's Real Mass, funding for culture, or lack thereof, facilities and training for the arts. Hosted by Creole Cultural Ambassador Prince Wadix and sponsored by Digicel. Creole Handmade will also be live on DBS Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. The illustrious Dominican celebrities Sobers Esprit and Anita Bowie will take the spotlight on the #1 cultural show in the Caribbean, Creole Handmade. This Wednesday, February 5th, 11 a.m. on DBS Radio. Creole Handmade, a front row seat into the culture of Dominica.
All right, time check. It's just a few seconds before 6. Compliments of the good folks at Caribbean Alliance. Have you called Caribbean Alliances yet? If you've not given them a call, pick up that phone and give them a call right now.
This is your chance to make 2025 unforgettable. The Super 6 jackpot has climbed to almost $1 million. Grab your ticket and start dreaming big.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
Efforts continue in Dominica into recovering 2 bodies following a plane crash in Dominica that claimed the lives of 4 French nationals. The Bahamas government to start accepting cannabis license applications by the second quarter of 2025. And news from the international scene, the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, has been taken over by the State Department. Details of the evening news right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go! Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Evening News. Efforts are on the way into recovering 2 bodies following a plane crash that claimed the lives of 4 French nationals. The crash occurred on Sunday, the 26th of January, when a small aircraft en route from Douglas Charles Airport to Martinique went down in the mountains near the village of La Plaine. The Deputy Chief of Police, Lincoln Corbett, says while the aircraft was discovered the day following the crash, it was the following day that the first bodies were recovered.
Tuesday, the 27th of January, the aircraft, that is helicopter 972, Dragon 972, returned to Dominica and again landed at the La Plaine playing field, where we again briefed and strategized on the way forward. This time it returned with a crew of 4, including 2 expert officers from the fire services that were trained and were able to recover bodies. The aircraft again went back to the area of the crash site, and within a short period of time, they were able to recover 2 bodies. Firstly, that of a female, and the second of a male. Dr. Pascal, on site at the La Plaine playing field, confirmed that both victims were deceased. The bodies have been transferred or transported to Gentle Rest Funeral Home, where they await post-mortem examination. That same day, while conducting the mission, the French team identified all 4 bodies. So we identified 4 bodies, all being lifeless. It was determined, however, that it would have been too risky to attempt to recover the 2 other bodies. So one underneath the aircraft and the other one was stuck in the aircraft. This area is very precipitous. It was determined that the aircraft, that is the Cessna 172, although it is still in the area, it's still holding on to 3 small twigs, small shrubs. And even during the exercise, the aircraft is very unstable and is moving. So any attempt to enter the aircraft to recover the remaining passenger and the person below would almost be an exercise almost suicidal.
And that's the Deputy Chief of Police, Lincoln Corbett, at a press conference earlier today. Meantime, Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, says a strategy is being developed to recovering the 2 bodies.
I have been, from day one, in direct contact with the ambassador.
the French ambassador, and of course, other officials. Based on what we have been told by our French partners, we made a request that they have been able to identify and to locate the requisite expertise and specialized talent that we need to actually retrieve the bodies. One of the solutions that was actually initially presented to the Dominica team was the possibility of trying to get the aircraft into a lower elevation so that maybe we could have a plateau-like elevation, but that in itself was very, 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 very dangerous. So the intention, and we are getting our fire officers, we're going to ensure that we have that specialized training, because it's an intervention that requires having the men to descend using ropes from the plane and to ensure that there's a certain degree of stability. While you're doing that, the plane is on a mountain tip. You don't have organized vegetation. So anytime this thing is actually pushed too much, the plane is going to descend into a precipice. And we do not want our rescue team to be in a situation whereby lives are lost. Okay, so the intention is to recover the body, but at the same time, the obligation to ensure that the safety protocols are adhered to at all times, insofar as the rescue team is concerned.
And that's the Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. Other news this evening, about $40 million has already been disbursed into the Housing Recovery Program, the HRP. The project came on stream following the passage of Hurricane Maria to help rebuild homes which were lost or damaged. Minister for Housing, Melissa Popon-Skerrit, gave an update on the ongoing Housing Recovery Project during a press conference this morning.
Under the Housing Recovery Project, we plan to build 420 homes. So far out of that, we have built 309 homes at an estimated value of about $40 million US. If you remember clearly, in 2018, the Prime Minister announced that this government would build 5,000 homes by 2030. And just as a way to update you as where we are in attaining this goal, we have surpassed the halfway mark, both in target and time frame. And so I'm proud to say that we are well on our way to becoming the first climate resilient country, of course, with housing leading at the forefront. The HRP and all other housing initiatives has provided employment to hundreds across within the construction sector, offering people an opportunity to learn on the job and to enhance their skills. They were also trained in resilient building codes, which they can now apply to their own contracting businesses. And what we did is that we intentionally selected contractors and tradesmen within the communities where the homes were being built to ensure that the monies would keep circulating within the communities and stay within the families.
And that's the Minister responsible for housing, Melissa Popon-Skerrit. Dr. Genora Joseph is the project manager for the Housing Recovery Project.
HRP homes are being constructed all over Dominica. And the largest single concentration of home construction is in the Kalinago territory, where over 40% of HRP homes are being constructed. And this is for the simple reason that the housing stock of our indigenous people was most significantly affected by Hurricane Maria. The time for construction of an HRP home is 4 months. There was a time when it was much longer than this, but we have since been able to tighten up our construction process through filtering our contractors, so we are using the best of our cohort of contractors, and so by and large we have reduced the construction time to approximately 4 months, with an additional 3-month defectless liability period. The HRP currently employs a cohort of 25 local contractors. On average, each contractor employs 5 laborers. So therefore, we can say that over 300 construction workers have been employed on HRP construction sites.
And that's the project manager for the Housing Recovery Project, Dr. Genora Joseph. Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams, is satisfied with the ongoing promotion of Mass Dominic 2025. Carnival officials have embarked on a robust promotional campaign for Dominica's Carnival, targeting both regional and international markets.
This year, we went above and beyond, I should say. We're doing a lot of regional and even international advertising to a certain extent. We not only advertised on radio and television, but we also showed some physical presence in some of those areas. So I can say we're advertising even in countries like Jamaica. We're starting to build, the hype and so on Dominica's Carnival, and we anticipate that there will be long-term benefit from going that route. But we're in our islands of Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Martin, St. Kitts, which extends to BVI. We've done something in St. Thomas. Our team last week was in St. Lucia and Antigua doing a series of media press releases. And I must say, from all reports, people are just hyped and excited to be coming to Dominica. Like, there's something in the air, and it's going to be people flocking to Dominica for the carnival. Even the bouillon music, again, we must be proud, when it comes to our bouillon music, because that has really, really helped, in changing the trajectory and building the vibes for Dominica's carnival. We recently spoke to a group of individuals who have done carnival for about 12 years in Trinidad, and they have indicated that this year they're coming to Dominica's carnival, and this is the kind of stories that we want to hear.
Miss Williams is encouraging patrons to register to be part of the carnival Monday and Tuesday activities and to support the other events leading up to the event.
We are 1 month away from the implementation of Dominica's Carnival, and we feel a sense of satisfaction with what is currently happening. So we're telling patrons, if you have not registered to be on the streets, come on, register. And those overseas, if you have not booked your flight, if you have not booked your ferry, please do so. If you're looking for somewhere to stay, then you can go on to dominicafestivals.com. We have a whole listing of people who are waiting to welcome you into their home. Discover Dominica has 2 major events on the carnival calendar. We have the Miss Dominica pageant, 5 beautiful, intelligent young ladies who've been preparing for the pageant. It's going to take place on February 27th. We already have tickets out on sale. Our sunrise event is in high demand. So please get your regular tickets. They are going really, really, really quickly. And let's just get ready to celebrate the real map in a grand way this year.
And that's the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. Minister responsible for tourism, Denise Charles Pemberton, says Dominica is taking steps to position its ports for long-term success. The minister made the remarks during a seminar aimed at enhancing the competitiveness of the Woodbridge Bay Port. That seminar took place this morning at the Goodwill Parish Hall. The seminar was aimed at providing key insights into the latest international maritime organization regulations and strategies for improving operational efficiency and business engagement.
The International Maritime Organization has made it clear that the future of ports is not just about moving cargo, but about embracing sustainability. Seaports that fail to adapt to green shipping standards will be left behind as the world transitions toward a low-carbon economy. This reality presents both challenges and opportunities for us. As a port, we must recognize that environmental compliance is no longer optional. It is essential for remaining competitive. Shipping companies are seeking ports that align with their decarbonization goals by offering shore power solutions to reduce emissions, efficient logistics that minimize fuel consumption, and environmentally friendly infrastructure that supports sustainable shipping. Thankfully, because of this government's proactive approach to economic and sustainable development, and in particular our advancement in our geothermal plant, discussions have already begun on shore power. I can promise you that our new cargo and cruise ports will be the object of environmental compliance and efficiency.
And that's the Minister responsible for tourism, Denise Charles Pemberton. On the feature segment of the DBS Evening News, we put the spotlight on CARICOM Youth Farmer of the Year for 2024, 27-year-old Kevon Vidal of Salisbury. Last year, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, presented $2,500 to the young Dominican farmer. CARICOM Farmer of the Year for 2024, Kevon Vidal of Salisbury, is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
I would just like to say a special thank you to the Ministry of Agriculture, ICA, and all those in support of me. So I just would like to say today, thank you, heartfelt thank you to ICA. That will be a big step, a big push to enhance production. So I want to just say thank you. Well, on my farm is a variety of variety of different stuff. Yeah, I do small bit of livestock, but I'm a more or less crop farmer. A lot of pumpkins, cucumbers, tomatoes, watermelons, tree crops, root crops at times. Yeah, there's a variety of different crops and operations. I got involved in agriculture. I would say I was born into agriculture, born and raised in agriculture. It's like a traditional thing, and from my great-grandfather come down all the way to me. Farming is our way of life. That is our career. That is what we love. So I can say I was born into that and it's in my blood. Well, to the young people who want to get involved in farming, I would say once you have a passion for it, go for it, because you can make a good career out of it. It's a good business venture. So once you have, but first thing you have to do, you have to have a passion for it, you have to have a love for it, because without the passion for agriculture, whether it is livestock you want to farm, whether it is agro-processing you want to go into, any part of agriculture you want to go into, you have to have a love for it first, because it have its challenges, and if one or two of them challenges you face by them, if you don't have a love for it, you'll not stay in it. So I would like to encourage everybody who have a passion for it, go for it. I wish you all the best. You will be successful. Just stay focused and do what you have to do.
CARICOM Farmer of the Year for 2024. In fact, the Young Farmer of the Year for 2024, Kevin Vidal of Salisbury. Our feature on the DBS Evening News. The news continues right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go! Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
In news from the region this evening, Attorney General of the Bahamas, Ryan Pinder, says Right, we do apologize for that short mishap. The Attorney General of the Bahamas, Ryan Pinder, says by the end of the second quarter of 2025, the government will start accepting license applications for cannabis operators. Pinder says the Cannabis Authorities Board has been constituted and is working to put in place the necessary controls, technology and processes to be able to issue and regulate licenses. The Attorney General added that he has already received expert advice on some of the technology and portals that are being utilized in other jurisdictions, which he will share with the Cannabis Authority for them to review. He continued that people applying for a cultivation, retain, transport, or a religious use license, the entity has to be 100% Bahamian owned. Finally, this evening, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has announced that he is acting administrator for the U.S. Agency for International Development, confirming the de facto takeover of the humanitarian agency by the State Department. The news came hours after Elon Musk, the world's richest man charged with overhauling the federal government, said President Donald Trump had signed off on shutting the agency down. Rubio said that the functions of the U.S. aid must align with the U.S. foreign policy and that it's completely unresponsive agency. Rubio says he's serving as the acting administrator of U.S. aid, but said he has delegated the authority to someone else with whom he is in touch. Gavin Richards has been in touch with all the sports agencies around Dominica. He's coming up shortly with the best in the DBS Evening Sports Report.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards. Welcome to the Evening Sports Report. Let's kick off with football news as the Goodwill Runners picked up a 2-goal win over the Crit Hector Southeast as the DFA Women's Premier League continued Sunday. Well, Cassica Samuel, Anik Francis and Shahid James made a goal each, or got a goal each for the Goodwill Runners as they took the match 3-1, while Kiana Phillip got the lone goal for the Southeast team. In other results from the weekend, the Roosevelt Scarlet Bombers, they beat the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikettes 2-0. Rosalinda Paul and Lemaya Ford scored for the Bombers team. Well, let's stay with football news as the Portsmouth Secondary School and the St. Mary's Academy, they all registered wins as the Sports Division's 13 and under secondary schools football competition continued this afternoon at the Newtown playing field. Well, in the first game, the Portsmouth Secondary School defeated the Dominica Grammar School 2-0. Rangel Yankee and Kaylan Brumant scored a goal each for the Portsmouth Secondary School. And in the second game, St. Mary's Academy edged up the Castlebrook Secondary School 2-1. Lemari Frederick and Shay Etienne scored a goal each for SMA, while Gianni Morillo scored the lone goal for the Castlebrook Secondary School. The competition continues on Wednesday. In some more sports from the sports division, well, the primary school's district table tennis competition got underway today. Sports officer Yudi John has more.
The primary school's district table tennis festivals organized by the sports division commenced today, Monday, at 3 different locations. For Granby in the south, the Granby Primary School emerged champions in both the girls and the boys division. In Castlebrook in the east district, the Siniku Primary School dominated, winning both the boys and girls competition. In second place for the girls was the Sansouve Primary School, who also emerged second in the boys competition, and Castlebrook, they too came third in both the girls and the boys. The other competition took place at the Vekas Community Center, where we had the Northern District participating, and in the boys division, the Penville Primary School placed first, followed by Thibault in second place, and the Baroness Patricia Scotland Primary School, they came third in the boys, while in the girls, the Baroness Patricia Scotland Primary School placed first, and Penville placed second.
And that's sports officer Yudi John. Lorraine Bruni Labad, the daughter of the late bodybuilding champion Emmanuel Bertrand Bruni, remembers him as a loving and caring man. Well, Bruni, the first ever Mr. Dominica bodybuilding champion in 1986, died last month following a battle with illness at the age of 75. Mr. Bruni was a 13-time Mr. Dominica champion, a 7-time Mr. OECS middleweight champion, a 6-time Mr. OECS Masters champion, and a 2-time Mr. Eastern Caribbean middleweight champion. Bruni was laid to rest this afternoon.
For those who are present today to celebrate his life with us, many of you would recollect that my father was a generous man. He loved to share his knowledge, his belief, his love, and food. He was always found in the kitchen whipping up a new version of his healthy shakes, a broth, or soup. He believed that it was better to give than to receive. To him, whenever he shared whatever he had, he was doing exactly what God asked him to love your neighbor as yourself. Daddy had a strong faith in God and often would share his faith with others. He never kept quiet on his belief. My dad was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather. His family meant the world to him. He loved us and would give us his last dollar to ensure that we had whatever we needed. There was never a time when we were left without anything. So as I wind up this tribute, Dad, you cannot hear me say that I love you, but throughout your lifetime, we walked together as twins in hearts and in attitude.
And that was a tribute from Lorraine Bruni Labad, which was read by Natasha Gervais Carbon this afternoon at the funeral service of the late Bertrand Bruni. In some more sports this evening, national footballer Javid George got his first goal in Jamaica on the weekend as he helped his new club Harbour View to a victory in the Jamaica Premier League. The former Surgical Southeast winger and winner of the Golden Boot a few years ago got the opening goal as Harbour View took down Dungle Holden FC 4-1. It was Javid's first goal in 4 matches in the Jamaica Premier League. Some cricket news. West Indies women's coach Shane Dietz has praised his team's all-round effort as they completed a clean sweep over Bangladesh in their T20 series on the weekend. The West Indies took the third T20 by 5 wickets to win the series 3-0. Janila Glasgow was named the player of the match, Deandra Doughton the player of the series, while the West Indies coach says the performances will be an added boost ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
2 wins under our belt to start the year is very promising, but a lot of cricket to play this year, and we've got to still improve in certain areas. We've got some players to come back into the squad too, so it's looking positive for 2025 for sure. Gives us a bit of a clue of where we can use players in certain roles, and it gives the players confidence to know, we'll play Bangladesh in that qualifier, and Pakistan, Thailand, a few teams all play similar style of cricket, so we know how we've got to attack that cricket and that style of play. So that's what we'll work towards. We've got the regionals now, so we really want the players to dominate for their country. The batters get some hundreds, get big scores, bowlers bowl 10 overs, get 4 or 5 wicket hauls. So that's what, if you want to play in the West Indies, you've got to do that at regional level. So that's the challenge for them now, to really dominate that tournament. And then we can go to the qualifiers with a bit of confidence, personal form, but confidence as a team as well.
That's the West Indies women's coach Shane Dietz. Defending champions in the KFC National Volleyball League, Club 1 opened up their title defense on a winning note as they cruised to a straight sets win over the Young Vets as that tournament got underway Sunday at the St. Joseph Hard Courts, where Club 1 took that match 3-0. Retiming the women's division, the defending champions Acers beat Club 1 in a 5-set marathon, 3-2. The final scores 25-17. 24-16, 25-14, 22-25 and 18-16. Let's go back to football news as D-Threads Tires Inc. came from 3 goals down to beat Petro Caribbean in the finals of the inaugural DA Next Level Sports Corporate Futsal Tournament in front of a massive crowd at the Massac Indoor Facility last night. National footballer Odell Laville got 5 goals, the Mario Challenger got 2 goals, and Kimon John Baptist got what turned out to be the winner in extra time as D-Threads came from 3-0 down to win 8-7 in extra time. D-Threads captain Lester Langley says it was a strong fight back from his team.
Well, we knew that is their strong point. Getting a quick start, moving the ball fast. So we just have to get ourselves in the game as early as possible, but they still get the upper hand on us and get the 3 goals. But composure and a little experience, we just came back slowly but slowly, creep back, and we got the game where we wanted it.
How special was Odell Laville and also the Mario Challenger for you guys tonight?
Well, everybody know Odell. Well, we call him Dr. Laville. But we know him as one of Dominica's best strikers right now. And he delivered. He delivered. We can hats out to all the guys. Every one of them. Kimon, old man Kimon was excellent. Scoring goals, Odell performing. We have all them youth man down to coaching staff. But it was really good. We enjoyed it.
And that's the D-Threads Tires Inc. captain Lester Langley. Odell Laville was named the finals MVP.
Yes, first of all, Gavin, I'd like to thank God for the performance tonight. It wasn't just an individual effort, but it was a team effort. So, I thank God for the victory. We come to the finals, put it out, and tonight was a good match. A very tough match, but a good match.
You're down 3 goals, Odell, and you literally put the team on your back. You single-handedly got 3 goals and brought them back into the game. Just talk me through what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, big games call for big players, and you have to show yourself. I'm a national player, so I come here to support my guys and to, push them forward.
How sweet is this victory for you, Odell?
Boy, this victory is very sweet because Petro Caribbean, they mash up teams. And I come into that finals and they're not going and mash us up. And that's the motivation I had for myself, and I bring it out for the team, and I thank God for that.
And that's the finals MVP, Odell Laville. D-Threads Tire Inc. They won $2,500 and a trophy for winning the title. In some more sports this evening, the Windward Islands Volcanoes have made 3 changes to their team for their next match against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force as the CWI Regional 4-Day competition continues this week in St. Vincent. The Windward Islands Volcanoes, remember, they're coming off a defeat in their last match against the Jamaican Scorpions. They lost by 178 runs. And the good news is that some batting reinforcements has arrived with Cavem Hodge in the lineup for the match against the Trinidad and Tobago team. So the Volcanoes squad will be captained by Sunil Ambris. The rest of the team is Stefan Pascal, Gian Benjamin, Keron Kotoy, Daryl Cyrus, Sadrak Descartes, Jonel Eugene, Kamal Hamilton. We also have Lee John, Cavem Hodge, Darius Martin, Jeremy Solozano, and Gillan Tyson. Of course, I will give you some more details on that tomorrow morning. There's also Kamal Hamilton, who is included in the squad as well for that encounter. So the news once again from the Windward Islands Volcanoes camp is that Cavem Hodge is back and is available for their next match against Trinidad and Tobago. And that's a day-night encounter which gets underway on Wednesday. I believe that will bring us to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, we can just quickly remind you that Trennis Hamilton and Corel Etienne, they broke national records on the weekend. Trennis Hamilton, she broke the under-20 record for women's shot put while representing the University of Alabama in the United States. She threw a distance of 17.46 meters, which was good enough for third place in that event. And she also picked up a second place finish in the women's weight throw. And Corel Etienne, the sprinter who is based in Jamaica, also had a very good weekend as well. She set a new personal best and new under-20 record in the 100-meter event. She ran 11.65 seconds, beating 2 Jamaican sprinters on her way to getting the gold medal, representing the Edwin Allen High School. And there was also a good showing from the Carifta Games gold medalist Addison James, who also won the javelin event. He threw 61 meters, which is a new personal best for Addison James as well. And Corel Etienne, Addison James, they've already qualified for the Carifta Games, which will be held in Trinidad and Tobago later this year. So good news for the Dominican athletes. Let's see if more athletes can meet the qualification standards and qualify for the games. But that's the DBS Evening Sports Report. More sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning. Until then, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening on behalf of Curtis Murphy, who brought you the news, and also DJ Halo Boy, our linksman.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Deaf announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. It is the 3rd day of February 2025. We announce the death of Ignace Avondale Detouche, age 71, of Dubic, Granby, who resided at Scott's Head. He died on Monday, the 30th of December 2024 at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. The body of the late Ignace Avondale Detouche of Dubic, Granby, who resided at Scott's Head, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 5th of February at the Sophia Roman Catholic Church. The funeral mass will take place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Sophia Roman Catholic Cemetery. We We announced the death of Vilna Royer, age 85, of Point Michel. She died on Wednesday, the 29th of January. The funeral arrangements for the late Vilna Royer of Point Michel will be given in a subsequent announcement. We announced the death of Frederick Deloney, who resided at Emsall